All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for part two, which is just including the race. We've had some technical difficulties in F1 2020 tonight, but we are back and glad you could join us. The race is just going to be starting here in a few seconds. We'll go through the formation lap. All the drivers are still in their respective positions from qualifying, and they will be and should be on the same tire. So crossing our fingers for the third time is the charm, that we will not have any more issues and that we can proceed with the race tonight. As we are underway with the formation lap.
So I guess just something we'll make a note of. We do have a few people who have changed tyre. Most importantly, I would say Bamboo, which I'm not a fan of seeing. He's gone on to the medium, so...
Okay. He might be up to see the stewards.
Yes, I think...
that's not...
I think he will. No. It'd be one thing if he was outside the top 10, and you know, but... to be in P2 and then to go onto the medium, that is... You know, from a purely competitive standpoint, that is... It's not in the best sportsman... It's not great sportsmanship, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. A few others as well, I think, F1 Racer and Taffer, but they did disconnect from the session and rejoin. So
I just in our Discord, I did see F1 say he didn't even get to set his
quality
strategy. So
okay.
No, his strategy for the race we were. So, you know, outside the top 10, there, you know, there's a little bit of leeway. You could say, oh, I didn't choose it, or you know, there was a mistake or whatever. But for Bamboo, there's not really much leeway there. You're starting P2. You set that time on a set of softs, and you should be on those set of softs. So we'll enjoy the race, but that will be something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, absolutely, and actually drama because Steven has said in the Discord that his setup hasn't saved on his car. So apparently Steven is running a default setup, starting in first place P1 after a really blitzing qualifying lap, which is fantastic to see. But he'll have his work cut out to retain even a top 3, I think. The default setup does not feel amazing on this game, to be honest.
No, and it's not a track. There are a few tracks where you could get away with it a little bit more. I don't think Japan is one of them, where it's so high speed, you really need to be accurate where you place your car. You need the car to do what you want it to do. So we will see. It's unfortunate, obviously we had the problem with the lobby. But then it is the same for everyone. If everybody else's setups can load, unfortunately, it may have just been...
It's probably just a glitch, you know?
Yeah.
But, man, it's been quite a drama-filled Japan Round 3 Silver Class race here for Trinity Competitive Racing. But I think we are finally here. We're about to... here's the lights. And... maybe 5 lights, and the cars are still standing still. And away they go. Steven gets a really good start. Bamboo already up to, oh my gosh, and Mercedes of Gottney Weeb overtakes his teammate Fire Up Flow as they go into turn 1 here, and Dorian Alpha down to P6, almost P7, pushing out wide by Fire Up Flow. There's contact between himself and Motor, going almost too wide into turn 4 and turn 5, the S section here, as the Mercedes of Fire Up goes just a little wide. It gets overtaken again, so he's got a terrible start. And they're going too wide again with the Haas. Watch it, boys, but kind of a crazy start here, and they're quite jam-packed, and Rex is looking to overtake down in Degner 1. Rex goes wide, and I was going to say he almost took out his teammate, but saves it just. And Juan probably had a heart attack seeing his teammate come across the track like that. But then we have Coleman going almost too wide, trying to overtake the Alfa Romeo of Lazo around the outside and a hairpin. And does he make it stick? Not quite, but he does have the run using the overtake button. And he gets on the grass, and I don't know, does he save it? Yes, he does. But, wow, what a start by everybody. And I think we're all sort of alive after that. I don't see anybody who's crashed out, so.
Yeah, so... I just saw a bit of contact. I know Blinn got a small bit of damage. He lost an end plate around Degner. Just coming into Degner 1, he ran into the back of Lazo, I believe it was. Lost a bit of his end plate. Notable to, or you know, important to note, Steven and Bamboo have got away clear. opened up that gap at the front and got a new wee bit chasing them down. And then behind that, you have the train pretty much the rest of the pack. So we are seeing, and we've got a few guys early into the pits, Blinn and Gen X so far.
Yeah, and Blinn's luck just does not seem to be on his side this season so far. He's had bad luck and wing damage in all 3 rounds so far. Blinn even had to pit, I think, on lap 4 last week in China, and he has to here pit on lap 1 now in Japan. Motor City, though, if we look at the position change, Motor's made up 7 positions, starting down in P10, I believe, or P9, whatever that was, but he's made up... he's been the big hitter here, along with Coleman. As Motor dives it down the inside of Steven. That default setup's not playing into Steven's hands. Now they're going to go too wide down into the spoon curve here in a bit. But wow. So far it looks like it's... Sorry, go ahead, Enda.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, relatively uneventful, even though we've had quite a few position changes. No big calamities, no big crashes so far, so it's good to see. So we're going to see everybody's pace start to level out now, and they'll get into their rhythm. It'll be interesting to see, and already Steven is 3 seconds behind Bamboo, so he is struggling with that car, so I really feel for him, because that's just not going to be fun, knowing you were the fastest guy in qualifying, and then having a totally different car in the race.
Oh, we got Fire Up. Fire Up is pitting. Sorry to interrupt you there. But Fire Up into the pit, so he must have had some wing damage as well. Also, TCR F1 racer, last year's Season 9 champion for Silver Class, is also diving into the pits. Does not bode well for them because they are on the... Well, I know F1 racer is on the medium tire. So that's probably not... Now they're both going on the hard tire. Probably the best thing they can do at this point is just try to make it to the end of the race.
Yeah, they got to hope for a safety car at this point, which we saw in the qualifying session. We had a lot of people crash out. We have quite a big train going from 3rd all the way down to 10th, even 11th is just outside that 1 second gap. So, you know, with a lot of close racing happening in the dirty air in Japan where it's a tough track, you really have to be really accurate, really precise with your car. So the race isn't over, especially for those guys at the back. If they can keep the head down, put in some quick laps, hopefully with the bit of clear air they can make a bit of a dent on the gap that they currently have to the rest of the pack.
Yeah, and I saw we had a yellow in Sector 1. That was Gen X, I think, losing it on turn 5, I believe. So we have...
And somebody got a penalty for ignoring the yellow flag as well, so I just...
Wow. Oh my gosh, and Coleman, I think, breaks quite late and almost gets wing damage, and he has to take evasive action to not run into anybody else. But there's this... Yeah, Motor is now just lost a heap of positions. So all the good work he's done is now just completely undone. And there was a lot of chaos ensuing at the chicane turn 16 and 17. But this has been pretty action-packed so far. Cars going left and right and you know, sideways and up and down. It's been crazy.
I've seen in the last lap, I've seen 3 or 4 end plates go flying as well. So losing that end plate around here is really going to be a penalty. You are going to lose a lot of lap time, especially if you're running in dirty air. So it's important to be a bit patient around this track, I feel like. Definitely, it's a long race. You've got to be thinking of the long game. You cannot be risking... Oh, big crash. D-Swish, Dorian Alpha, Steven.
Oh my gosh.
Steven and D-Swish is retired. Someone might have crashed into the back of him, so safety car, is it?
I don't have one yet, but I expect to see one. What happened? Did you see that? Because I was on board with Motor, Lazo, and Coleman. Coleman had dived it down the inside.
So I just came onto the end of it. I think Steven might have been... Somebody spun at the hairpin, the really tight hairpin, before you come to the section with Spoon in the final sector. And then I think it was just everybody kind of went into the back of them. So maybe it's a virtual safety car. I'm seeing a full course... Oh, it's a VSC I just saw
VSC.
on the board there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not getting the graphic for the safety car on my screen anyway. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, same.
That's a bit of a bummer because it does neutralise the race, but I think with all the chaos, it would have been nice to bunch that pack back up. But so we've lost D-Swish from this race. We're seeing Juan get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. This will throw the strategy up in the air. We'll see a lot of different strategies as we go race green flag racing again.
Wow.
But Bamboo seems to be... He's 8 seconds clear on that medium tyre, but he will have to go see the stewards after this race. So we have quite a close battle then for what we think will effectively be the race win. We've got Rex, Gottany Weeb, Coleman, Motor City, Lazo, all within a couple of seconds of each other. So it'll be an interesting battle to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just trying to process what just happened. I mean, the first 5 laps have been crazy. I mean, we got people who we've not seen in the top 7. Now magically they're there just because of other people's misfortunes and crashes and, you know, wing end plates flying. So, like, you know, for example, we see Coleman, who was actually in our golden class last season, season 9, but Coleman's up in P4, so he's done a really good job of avoiding all the carnage and just kind of playing, you know, keeping cool, keeping chill, you know.
I think it says a lot about just keeping your nose clean in those initial laps.
Absolutely.
There can and will be chaos, and if you're patient and if you've enough faith in yourself that you have the pace to be there, as Coleman and Gottany Weeb are getting very, very feisty now coming down into turn 1. But you can really make up a lot of places if you just pick your moments.
Yeah, I feel like the Mercedes driver, Gottany Weeb, is a lot faster than the Williams driver. That's just what I see. I mean, he's right on the gearbox of him.
Mm-hmm.
And
it does seem that way.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to make a pass, but just doesn't know where to do it. Like we said in qualifying on the first part of our stream, you know, this track is very narrow, so it takes a lot of confidence, takes a lot of driver skill to, you know, make a pass, but make a pass cleanly.
Yeah, there's not very many clear overtaking zones. Really only the final chicane. It is a pretty straightforward overtake. Other than that, you really have to have a lot of confidence in not only yourself but the other driver. You have to know that they're going to give you that space that you're expecting, and that's why we come league racing, is because you want to race against other hard but fair drivers. You want to know that they're not going to move under the braking zone. They're not going to squeeze you out and ruin your race just because they feel like they can, and having respect for your other drivers. And I think a lot of the guys in this league do respect each other. I think most of them do, and that really lends itself to great racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of drivers do respect one another, and you know, the racing for the first 2 rounds has been absolutely fantastic. You know, and the drivers do respect the track limits. You know, obviously, you know, we run wide here and there, maybe cut a corner, you know, just a tad bit, but you know, it's not like you're intentionally trying to gain that advantage on the track. So I think it's providing better racing that we are, you know, regular corner cutting. Taffer, massive wing damage on the exit of turn 2. I was trying to catch up to same TJ, I believe, and just got a lot of oversteer, and those just lit up those rear tires. He's on the medium tires too, so he might want to be pitting and go to the hards.
I think TJ just overtook him going into turn 1, and I think that was it. Very easy to get, to get a little bit anxious when you see that guy overtake you. Want to get on the power early. You don't have the downforce that you'd. Oh, and Steven retired. Is that a? I think he's retired in the pits.
Steven, I believe yeah. Because him and D-Swish had that incident, correct?
Yeah, he was running. He was P16 when he retired, and quite a ways back.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's gotta be heartbreaking.
It really has.
Oh man.
Well,
I think I would have a little cry about that one. I feel for Stevie.
Yeah, to be honest, he had, amazing qualifying, so that's something. And unfortunately, his AI car now is going to be going out on track, and so that's going to be a possible hindrance. Oh no, the Renault! Bamboo has hit Steven, and the safety car is out.
Safety car. So,
I just saw Steven's little dot come out on the mini map, and I saw Bamboo coming up towards him. I'm thinking he's just going to overtake him, but Bamboo's dot just stopped, and the safety car is out. Bamboo has destroyed his car. This is completely throwing the championship in the air. Wow.
The only thing, I mean, Bamboo did have that penalty out against him, so who knows? It might not have lost him a whole load.
Well, he did say in the Discord though that he did choose the soft tire, but glitch with Cody's again may have prevented him from picking the soft tire. This is just gone mad.
Yeah. This is a wacky session. This is a Twilight Zone episode of F1 2020. It feels like, but we will have a neutralized race. We're going to get everybody who was, involved in those early mix-ups. We have D-Swish and Bamboo, who are both doing quite well in the stand-ins at the minute. So it leaves Rex in a great position, as he is our championship leader at the minute, I believe. So it leaves him in a great position to pick up some really key points today. Unfortunately for Bamboo and D-Swish, they're going to finish with no points. But this is a great race. This is why we love watching racing, is the unpredictability of it. You never know who is going to have that disaster, that totally unpredictable disaster that just comes out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll sit, we'll digest. We got a couple of laps to kind of figure out where we are. We got a lot of different tires on a lot of different cars. So this is great. This is what you want to see. This is going to make for super exciting into the race. We have people on fresh mediums, 5-lap-old mediums, fresh hards, 7-lap-old softs. So get ready to see everybody really start to think their way around the rest of this Grand Prix. I think this is going to be a race won by strategy today, as Lazo is the first on the softs to pit.
Oh, he pits under the safety car, so that's interesting. I wonder if he had passed the pit lane after the safety car came out, and that's a very long pit stop. My God, I feel bad for him.
I think, you're right. I think those first softs were, or however many were on the softs, they did just miss it. But yeah, you were right. Just going back to that incident with Steven and Bamboo, that's a really bad glitch. That's one that I think they should fix as soon as they can. There's a few other ones which I think we can live with, but we tell our drivers to retire in the pits, and even when they do, for some reason the game sends their AI back out onto the track. So that is really unfortunate for Bamboo. You never want to see anyone taken out by the AI. Steven done what he was told to do, what he thought he should do.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But we're gonna have a great next 21 laps now. We're about a third race distance. So now might be a nice time. I'm gonna pull up the position changes, and I'll just read them out to everyone while we're.
Yep. Go for it.
We're running around under the safety car. So Rex is up 7 positions. Coleman is our biggest mover at the minute, and the winner, although he is on an old set of softs, he's up 15. Turkey Whacker up 8. Motor City has moved up 6 positions. TJ is up 10. So all of those guys have benefited massively from this. And Turkey Whacker to F1 Racer, I believe, are all on fresh tires. But Turkey Whacker was on 8-lap-old mediums. There's Motor City, TJ, as the safety car is in this lap. They're on the fresh hards and fresh mediums respectively. So it's going to be interesting now, the rest of this race.
Yeah, hopefully the safety car restart goes well. The safety car restart did not go well in Golden Class last week in China, some of you guys may have remembered. But here we are, hopefully no broken wings, and we should be green as Coleman is right on the gearbox of Rex. Everybody seems to be getting away quite well. Blue Machine gets a terrible start.
Tafur at the back lost it.
Tafur, shame, but hopefully no wing damage as Motor City, with those moves, just diving down the inside of Turkey Whacker on the hard tire too, but is on those fresh hard tires, so he is in prime position as Coleman loses it. Stay out of the way, please. He does a good job of doing that, and Blinn almost collects him, but Blinn does a good job of avoiding that as well. Oh, and somebody's in the wall. Who is that? That's Motor! Motor's in the wall. Oh, Motor, watch out! Oh, and collects Gen X. Man, that's just a turn of events.
And Coleman
spun again too.
Messy restart.
Very messy.
Oh, Coleman! Oh, almost reversed straight into Motor City. Getting a little bit messy here at the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at the front. We got some action with the TCR F1 racer and same TCR F1 racer on the hard tires. TJ's on the fresh medium tires though. So we got a lot of different strategies. These tires or these drivers, I think, just really have to take a step back, kind of just get back into racing, and then start making moves in a few laps. I think everybody is a bit high adrenaline, especially from the restarts that we've had with the lobby, the safety car, the virtual safety car, the actual safety car.
That plays into it.
Absolutely. I mean, you see drivers already using up their overtake in ERS. F1 racer using his champion skill to potentially make a move on TJ. TJ tries to hold it around the outside. They go too wide. Exit a turn 2. Watch it. And the Renault thinks about, if Dorian Alpha thinks about getting his nose inside, but thinks better of it. I mean, these drivers are running just super close front to back. Any abrupt braking or acceleration is going to really throw one of them off, and that could create an effect to cause another collision. So, but these drivers are some of the best. So,
I think what we saw on the restart was, Gotney Weeb gets loose on that's exit or curve on the exit spoon or Degner 2. It was just a mixture of cold tires, dirty air, and like you're saying, that anticipation to want to get going. If you haven't had a great race so far, you want to scramble back those positions as fast as you can, and you might get a little eager on the throttle. If you're, a little bit too anxious on the throttle, then you got to slam on the brakes, and the person behind you is trying to be as aggressive as they can, and it really can spiral out of control very easily, especially on cold tires, because anyone tries to react and the grip just isn't there. But it seems to be neutralizing a little bit. We're getting an idea of the shape of the race.
Dorian with a huge dive bomb down the inside of 2 cars of the chicane. TJ pushing the racing point wide. I'm going the wrong way. Whoops, my bad. 3 wide down the front straight. Oh my god. Motor City or Lazo.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
It does not go.
It does not go.
That's messy. That is messy stuff. I feel bad for TJ.
Yeah, I didn't have anywhere to go, but
yeah.
Wow.
Listen, this is tough competitive racing, and that's could be TCR's new acronym: tough competitive racing.
They are tough, and they push out their elbows, and they do not want to give up those positions. It's providing for some exciting racing here, and it's going almost 4 wide on the front straight there was something to see, and I tried to get the best position I could seeing it, but I think these drivers are just thinking, man, I'm in positions I've never been in before, so I'm going to go for it. You see guys like, Blend Machine and F1 Racer, they've been at the front. They finished top 2 last season, season 9. But you got guys like Turkey Whacker right now in P2 putting on an amazing performance, just really avoiding all the incidents. Dorian Alpha, who's had quite good finishes the past 2 races, but I think people are just not where they're used to being, and so they're being a bit more aggressive than I think they probably would in a normal situation, which today is, not a normal situation.
Yes. And I think it's just the perfect storm. We have a tough track, a tough high-speed track. We have, a bit of a start-stop session where everybody is, and Dorian Alpha takes P2. Bit of a start-stop session. Then we have safety car, virtual safety car, and everybody, especially at a track like Japan, where you need that rhythm, you need that flow. You need to be comfortable with the car, you need to know what it's going to do. If you're constantly stopping and starting, the car feels totally different every time then. Your fuel will have dropped, your tyres are cold, you're following in dirty air that isn't as effective when you're going at slow speeds. So a lot of things to take in at a restart, and season's young, it's a new game. Dirty air is the most powerful and disturbing that it's ever been. So a lot of things for these drivers to think about while they are restarting, and you know, sometimes you just have a chaotic day, and I think we've had one of those so far. But it's made for an exciting race, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking back to, you know, some past TCR races, some past F1 races, and typically after a safety car restart, you know, you get a lot of drivers going for moves because they see an opportunity. And one race that comes to mind is Silverstone from a few years ago.
Oh, Blin, TCR or Turkey Whacker and Blin tried to go
Oh my
side
God,
by
what
side
happened?
at 180R. You caught it?
Nah, I just caught the end of it. You said it was Blue
Oh
Machine
yeah,
and who?
Blin
Turkey
Machine,
Whacker?
and thankfully Blin Machine doesn't have seem to have any wing damage. But yeah, so Blin Machine and Turkey Whacker were heading into 180R and side by side, and just slight touch from Turkey Whacker. I seen it from off board, so I can't say who was at fault,
Yeah.
or if anyone was at fault. But it did seem just to be a little bit unfortunate. But he's still on P8. He's okay. He's on those hards. He should be going to the end. He's shown some good pace so far, so no wing damage. Hopefully he can get back on pace and make some moves.
Yeah, just put his head down and try to focus. He's in clean air for the moment, so that'll be good. Just kind of recollect his thoughts and then keep on going.
Cool down those tires as well.
Cool, yeah. But he seems to be on the prime strategy, you know, on the harder tires, which should be, I mean, very well to the end of the race. The guys on the medium tires, like Juan, Fire Up Flow, same TJ, they should also be good to the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how the hard tire compares to the medium tire with the same amount of tire life left. You know, does the medium tire have that pace advantage? You know, we don't know. We're about to see. We're on lap 14 out of 27, so just under, or actually just over halfway here in our round 3 Japan Suzuka race.
So while we were focusing on the machine there, Rex has come in and made his pit stop, put on a fresh set of mediums. He is going to the end, and pretty easily he'll be able to attack on those tires. I'm not worried too much about tire wear. So I'm going to watch him for the next few laps. I'll keep you updated, because this will be interesting to see how he gets through that traffic. His tire advantage will go away from a lot of the guys towards the end of the race, so he needs to make those moves now. A lot of guys are on those hards, which, as we were just talking about, should make it to the end pretty easily. So Rex really has a race on his hands now to get back up into some high point scoring positions. He wouldn't be my favourite for the race win at the minute, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is quite down there, but yeah, keep an eye on his lap times. I know he's right behind Gen X. I'm watching the battle between F1 Racer and Lazo. Turkey Whacker just in front, so it looks like they're all aboard the Turkey train. As F1 Racer tries to put his nose inside of Turkey, you want to be careful, because that's where Steven and D-Swish came together, and both of them had DNF'd, so I think F1 Racer is going to have to just be patient. Maybe slight contact with the Ferrari in front. I don't think any wing damage. If there is, it's very straight. Get the DRS, get a good exit off of turn 18, kind of a slingshot, and then go. But he's actually being challenged by the Alfa Romeo of Lazo. Lazo goes around the outside even before 130R, so Lazo clearly had used quite a bit of overtake. And Lazo looking to defend now against F1 Racer. But great move by Lazo. That was a bit unexpected. I think he caught F1 Racer unawares too.
And
as
so
Turkey Whacker he just reset to track. I think he messed up, and he's... God, I hope he didn't do anything that impacted any other driver. As Blin comes into the pits, not sure. I think he could have made it on to the end of the race, but he puts on the soft tire. So that makes sense. I mean, 11 tires on the soft tire, which would be typical for the start of the race. I think he'll be fine at the end. But definitely an interesting strategy.
So what happened up front, Turkey Whacker? He spun, did he, and reset to track?
I think he did. I think, because I just saw he was immediately behind Turkey.
Oh, he's a safety car.
Sorry.
That's what's going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not getting
the notifications either.
Yeah. So that's why those guys came into the pits. I was wondering what happened. So that was from TJ. I was watching. TJ lost it on the exit of Spoon, I believe. And I think crashed into the wall and then lost a tire and the car was wrecked. So that's what the safety car was out for. I wasn't watching what happened with Turkey Wacker at the time, but I'm assuming why Blin with Motor City and F1 Racer into 4, because they were obviously behind, went in and put on those softs, which could be a brilliant move now, as you're saying, because it's a couple laps under the safety car, and then they should be really rapid until the end of this race.
Well, if you thought this race wasn't crazy enough, it just got crazier with another safety car, and it's only going to be, there's only 11 laps to go, but there's going to be only about 9 or 10 laps to go after the safety car comes in. And I mean, guys who thought their race was finished, they're now in prime position. The one person who I think is the big loser here would be Turkey Wacker. He has 15 laps on those medium tires. So if I was him, I would actually pit. He's only in P6. He would only go down to P11 because Taffer is so far behind. So that would be the smart thing to do. Let's see if he pits. But, I mean, you have guys like Blin, Motor City, F1 Racer, Taffer, who have 0 laps on their new tires, soft tires, as Turkey Wacker comes in. Smart move by him. F1 Racer comes in as well. So I don't know. F1 Racer had just pit.
He must have damage.
He must, yeah. He must have hit somebody on the safety car lap, when they're trying to catch up.
And he has a time penalty by the looks of it.
Maybe speeding the pit lane. So I'm going to ask you, Enda, are you ready for the last 9 laps of this race?
I want to say yes, but from what we've had so far, I'm not sure if it's as exciting as the first 10 or the first 15. To be honest, I feel a little bit lost. This race has just been, when we can't see the safety car come up, it feels like we're catching up the whole race. So I think by the time we get to the green flag racing, I will be ready, yes. But it's funny, just a quick note, just as I was saying, I wasn't fancying Pazosaurus Rex's chances in this race. You get the safety car, and now he's right up there. He's on fresher tires than everyone ahead of him. They're all on 8 to 7 lap old mediums or hards. So, and he's going to have absolutely no problems. Those softs might lose a little bit of performance for at the end, but he's going to be quick to the end on those medium tires. We've already seen he's got great pace. He needs to catch up. I'm trying to have a think of the implications for the stand-ins. So Rex already P1 in the stand-ins. His 2 biggest competitors, D-Swish and Bamboo, have both DNF from this race.
They're out.
So right now, yeah. So maybe we'll see a bit of a cautious run from Rex, because he doesn't want to risk his car. As if the safety car coming in this lap, there's already a bit of a gap to it. And Rex might be cautious, but we have a lot of guys here who, with a good result, can really put themselves into that 2nd and 3rd spot in the championship race. So it's going to be super interesting, as safety car is in this lap, so we are going to get green flag racing shortly.
Oh god, here we go. Strap yourselves in, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, because it's about to get crazy. The last 9 laps here at Suzuka. And there's a big gap between Juan and Gotney Weeb. Pretty bad start by Gotney Weeb. But so far, a clean start with everybody.
So I think Fire
go
Up Flow
ahead.
and Tapor at the back had a collision, because Fire Up Flow is just DNF.
That's even before he rounded turn 18.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the attrition of this race has been quite high, and we'll be lucky even have 10 drivers finish. I mean, as Motor getting a little touchy with Gen X there in front. Yeah, these drivers I think are going to be pushing like crazy to make up as many positions as they can. Blend Machine is actually already in P5, so great
Blend
restart
Machine's
from him.
in a great position here to really challenge for the win of this race. He can follow Rex through, kind of save those soft tires if he can a little bit, following Rex, and let Rex make the moves, and he can just follow straight through if he's right behind him, and then take Rex. If he can get some clean air, maybe pull away from Rex, and that could be Blind's race. But it's all about how quickly they get through Gotney Wee, because he does seem to be a bit of a cork in the bottle at the minute for Rex and Blind.
Oh, TCR F1 Racer makes a beautiful move down the exit of Spoon, just kind of snuck down the inside of Gen X on those hard tires, so TCR F1 Racer has just the outright grip advantage on those tires. But now we're getting kind of a little train behind Gotney Weeb. Then you have Pazosaurus Rex, our championship leader, and then Blend Machine. Rex going to try to make a move. on Gotany Weeb. Looks like he's going to make it stick down the inside.
This is where Blinn can just follow him through now if he times this right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. And we're going to be on Blinn's on board just to kind of watch the action here in front. But if I was Blinn, you have around 8 laps to go. That's plenty of time for drivers in front to make errors, for the tires to go off. So just wait. Just wait. So Lazo and Dorian are actually out in front. They're pulling quite the gap, already 3.2 seconds in front of that little train, the little Rex train. Then Motor City looking down the inside of Blinn and Spoon. Blinn was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, and I'm sure you weren't either. But Motor City's on a charge.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know what, Blinn seems to be a small bit off the pace here on the restart. I was expecting him to...
Ooh.
Good fight in here, good driving. I was expecting him to get past Gotany Weeb, no problem, and he didn't. And that's what happens in F1 if you aren't attacking, you're being attacked. And they, you know, look at the gap Rex has pulled to Gotany Weeb just in a lap. So that this is the time Blinn is losing behind Gotany Weeb, who is suffering at the minute.
Absolutely. TCR F1 Racer just got overtaken, or sorry, just overtook Motor City. So Motor City was trying to overtake Blinn, now actually just lost a position to F1 Racer, who's on the soft tire as well. So last year's top 2 runners here are making their way through the field on those soft tires. And I think it should be pretty quick work here from Blinn and F1 Racer to pass the Mercedes driver on those hard tires.
So we got 7.5 laps left. Rex, I imagine, is going to close down that gap now to the top 2. He's got 3 seconds to close down in about 7 laps, so doable. Blinn needs to get past. I mean, look at the train forming up now behind Gotany Weeb. They really need to get past. Blinn needs to take that initiative and really attack Gotany Weeb, put him under some pressure. At this point, you know, those softs are going to get slower as the race goes on, and he's got people behind him. Motor City on those mediums. I guess only Motor City. We only have 11 runners left, so attrition a big factor today. But he needs to get past, and so does F1 Racer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we've said it in the past. We've seen it in the past. Every class, at least once, has that quote crazy race. And I want to say that today has been Silver Class's crazy race. I mean, from the get-go, from qualifying, we had a very exciting qualifying session into the race that only got more intense, and it's only going to get more intense from now until the end of the race. There's only 6 more laps to go. And like you said, Blinn has to take that initiative. And, actually, as he did get past the Mercedes driver of Gotany Weeb. Now it's F1 Racer's turn, and Blinn is going to be hot in the heels, trying to close down the gap to Rex. Blinn smells that podium after a really unfortunate first 2 races, so he's going to really, really want that. And I can rest assure you, you know, from talking to Blinn, from knowing him, you know, quite well here the past half year or so, he is not one to settle for P4. So look to him to just be cranking out those laps here.
And Alpha, I think Lazo is in a great position here to win this race. Alpha doesn't seem to be pulling away, and I think as those medium tires...
Sorry to interrupt you. Side by side through Spoon for F1 Racer and Gotany Weeb. That's fantastic racing. Really, really good. Very clean by both drivers. Completely 2 different sets of compounds of tires. But F1 Racer makes the move, and that was well done. That was nice to see. We were kind of like an airplane helicopter view, so that was really awesome to see. So well done to F1 Racer, just showing the skill that he has. But sorry to interrupt you there, Enda.
No, not at all. It's a great part of the track as well to watch cars battle. There's so little room for error, and when they get it right like that, it's a great thing to see. But I was just quickly saying, Lazo on those hards is gonna have better pace at the end of this Grand Prix. So that's going to be an interesting battle to see. And if they start to battle, can Rex, although that gap seems to be growing, can Rex and Blinn Machine and now TCR F1 Racer, who's got past Scotty Weave. Can they do anything about the lead of this race if those guys start to battle?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because now F1 Racer is right on the heels of Blin. He was about 1.5 to 2 seconds behind, trying to battle that Mercedes driver. But I want to say that F1 Racer does have the pace on Blin Machine. And this was actually a constant talking point last season where, Blin it was more consistent with the results throughout the season. F1 Racer did join a bit later, but F1 Racer seemed to have the raw pace just over Blin Machine. And I saw that. I was lucky enough to commentate with Seafreeze on the USA Grand Prix and the Mexican Grand Prix last season for Silver Class. So these two are now engaged in battle once again, and we'll see who comes out on top. Both of them have actually got a pretty poor start to the season, which I don't think anybody expected. And we've got, newcomers, and, Rex, I think, was here a while ago in Season 8. So you got some guys that we didn't expect to be at the front. And obviously these two guys here, as F1 Racer he's going to line up a pass. He's already going to be around the outside of Blin, and Blin doesn't even fight that. Knows that F1 Racer's got the outright pace advantage, and maybe he'll just try to follow and maybe just get dragged up to the top 3 here. Maybe he's playing the smart game.
That's what I was going to say. If in this situation where you see the gap increasing in front of you, sometimes it is in your best interest to allow someone to give you that slipstream and pull you up to that pack, so you can use that tire advantage that they have. Although the guys at the front, they're pulling away from Rex. That gap has increased, I think, by over a second in the past lap. So that's crazy to see that even on almost twice as old, twice as many laps done on those tires, Dorian Alpha is able to keep consistent pace.
Yeah, championship, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
yeah, he's leading
right.
a championship, and he's just going to extend that. So I think maybe he's, playing damage limitation. He doesn't want to push of, risking his car, crashing his car. So he might just be content with P3, sees the gap to F1 Racer and says, if I can just manage that gap of 3.5 seconds, I'll be fine with P3. That'll be his 3rd podium in a row, and that'll play huge benefits, especially because we saw YBN Steven and D-Swish, come together early in the race, which was very unfortunate. If you're just joining us, we've had a few issues today, but it's provided some really good racing, really good battles, and lots of broken wings, unfortunately, but it's quite a difficult track, one of the hardest on the calendar, and these drivers are really giving it their all. We can definitely see that. A lot of drivers out of position, which is always great to see, and 2 safety cars so far. We've had 2 safety cars, a virtual safety car. We had to restart after qualifying, so the drivers were already tense going into the race, which we're currently in. So I want to say emotions are running quite high, and we'll see what some of the drivers have to say after this race. I do want to give a shout out before we end, because this race has flown by, even though it's actually taken a while. But a shout out to our affiliate sponsor Fanatec, who does supply about 70% of our drivers. We do thank them for their support. If you are a driver racing in TCR or looking to join TCR, join our Discord. Look up our website, trinitycompetitiveracing.com. Fill out an application, and we'll get you in. But it's a great community, and the Fanatec gear has definitely played a part in this really good battling and how competitive our drivers are. So,
Fanatec's great.
Do you have a Fanatec, Enda?
I do. I love it. DSL Elite. Love it.
Love it. Yeah, so do I. I know a lot of other drivers do, so I think it's just great hardware, and sometimes it can be a little quirky here and there, but at the end of the day, it's really nice to race on.
Yeah, nothing's perfect. It's for what it is, though. It's great. The difference in the Fanatec compared to the other lower, the entry level wheels is incredible. So if it's, I would recommend it to anyone who is serious about there's even semi-serious about their sim racing. If you're thinking of buying it, buy it. You'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lazo.
But I think the race is pretty neutral at the minute. Lazo seems to be dropping back. No one is really battling. Got any weave? Is behind Motor City. Motor City has the tire advantage. You'd expect him to be able to defend in all the traction zones. So for all of the craziness, I think we could be at a little bit of a simmer at the minute. Let's see if things, you know, things don't get a little bit hotter towards the end of the race. We've got 2 laps left now. But yeah, I think what you're saying about Rex is completely right. Just riding on board with him for a few laps, he's just hitting every apex, putting the car in the right spots. He's not pushing at all, and I think you're right. He knows his 2 big title competitors are out, D-Swish and Bamboo, and they're all around the 40 point mark. With Rex leading at the minute, so he's gaining, what is it, 16 points at the minute on his title rivals. 16, 15. I can never remember the
something like that.
Yeah.
Something
so
like
I just
that.
think, I would have to agree with what you said earlier on Rex.
Yeah, I was just watching Motor and Got Any Weeb. Motor seems to be holding P6, which would be great for him in the standings. You know, good performance by him. He's been very aggressive with his moves today, pulling off some really incredible moves that have, you know, caught the eye of myself and probably you as well. And this amazing start as well. I mean, he picked up 7 positions at the start, which was unbelievable. So with just about 1 lap to go, as Dorian and Lazo are going to be rounding 130R here soon. But yeah, this race has been pretty crazy. It's, you know, as you said, coming down to a simmer. So the steaks are done. They're out of the grill. They're resting. But yeah, we're about to start our final lap here, and I want to see if God Any Weeb has anything left to give Motor a run for his money, because I think that is the closest battle on track besides the top 2. And who knows, Lazo may pull something out of the hat here.
Yeah, I think his real opportunity to make a move is probably into turn 1. I think just from riding on board, Dorian Alpha either has a lot of ERS save or he's running slightly less wing, and he wasn't really under threat down the straight. So I think if Dorian Alpha can keep it together on this lap, he should walk away with the victory here, although he goes a little bit wide there. But he seems to be holding on okay.
Yeah, I think just running in the dirty air here, along with the harder compounded tire, the same tire life pretty much as Dorian, I really don't see how he's going to get past. He only has, 5% of his overtake left. Dorian has 15%. Well, 22 now, it's just kind of climbing. Lazo really close though, but does not get the run that he needs to really challenge. And I bet you Dorian's using he's draining that overtake button, so there's just no way.
So now just 2 more presses, one press, higher press the left foot and a slight, easy push on the right foot, and that's the race win for Dorian Alpha, and that's great for the Renault and the constructors. Bamboo, obviously DNF today, and Dorian Alpha comes through and takes that win on behalf of Renault.
Well deserved. I mean, he had the pace. That's pretty awesome. Rex comes in P3 though, so 3 podiums in a row. Balloon Machine. Oh.
He had a 5 seconds, so maybe that must have been speeding in the pit lane.
Must have, yeah.
And that's promoted F1 Racer to his first podium of the season, so congratulations to F1 Racer.
Absolutely, a podium worth waiting for, and with his rival from last season right behind him. But we have Motor City in 6th place, Got Any Weeb finishing P7, Juan putting in quite a good performance after his first race. A little bit nervous, I think, but a solid P8 for him today. Gen X coming back from a early collision with the wall, I believe, to finish in the points for P9. And then Turkey Whacker rounding off the top 10 with 1 point, finally putting Ferrari on the board with for the constructors with 1 point. So good for him and Ferrari. Taffer, our last place finisher, P11. And then we have everybody else who did not finish, unfortunately, due to, crashing and just unfortunate events. And, what do you got to say? But look at that. The driver of the day, TCR F1 Racer 85. Good for him. Good for him. Oh man, what a race, right?
That was something else. A little bit of everything. We had some reckless driving, some brilliant driving, safety
Exciting
cars, virtual
driving, you know.
safety cars. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean the race had everything, man.
it did. It was a great race to watch. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna try and invite our podium sitters uh, into the chat now for a quick chat with them and see how they found that race. I can only imagine if that felt hectic to us, how it felt down on track.
Yeah, I mean, you probably didn't expect to be commentating on that type of race after a few weeks off, did you?
No.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Oh, I think I may have invited the wrong person.
Uh-oh. Yeah, if he joins, kick him out, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a really interesting race. That's what league racing is all about, the unpredictability. Um, Everyone being quick, everyone being well able to battle and to race, and it just gives us exciting racing. So we're just waiting now for the drivers to join us.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a little tired. My voice is a little, throat's a little dry. You know, and I was thinking that we weren't really going to get off to, to a start after the issues that we had at the very beginning, but I'm glad, the third time is the charm, and I'm glad everyone was able to stick through it and, join back in. I think we did miss one person, though, when we had to restart the race. Um,
Oh no.
can't remember who it was, but, we did get started quite late, if you want to put it that way.
Um,
So who was it? Dorian finished P1, Lazo P2, and Rex P3?
yeah, I've sent them invites.
Okay.
And we have F1 Racer with us. Hello, F1 Racer.
F1 Racer, you there? Maybe not.
And he's here. I think maybe he's having some mic issues.
Mic
But we
issues,
have Dorian
gotcha.
Alpha. Dorian, are you there? How's it going? Good, Rafe. Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy from our point of view. We want to know
yeah, we would
how it
say
was
the
from your point of
same.
view.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think sweating is the understatement. I think you took a little swim today. Um, but that was crazy, and I think what we learned today is that even if stuff happens to you, you got wing damage, had to pit, that you can still recover and come back in a crazy race like we had. So congrats, and that must feel really good. So um, anything else, Enda?
No, I think you gave us a good rundown. I just have to say, yeah, it was great driving at the end to keep Dorian Alpha behind. I kind of
Keep Lazo
was
behind because
expecting. Oh, Lazo, sorry,
yep.
yes, you're a Dorian Alpha. Lazo behind, yeah, it was just some great defensive driving. So congratulations and great win heading into Singapore, a track where you need to be confident. So hopefully you can carry this forward, and this puts Renault, your team, in a great spot in the constructors. So congratulations.
Yep. Good luck.
Have fun, man. We'll
We'll
see
see
you
you
next
next
week.
week.
Hopefully we'll be chatting to you.
Who do we got
So
next? Lazo, right?
I'm going to invite Blinn in, seeing as Lazo hasn't come in.
Okay.
We'll see if Blinn is online, if he wants to come in and have a chat.
Yep.
He's more than comfortable behind the mic. Oh, he's here. Look who's here. Didn't take much persuading. I think his mic is just coming in now.
Yep.
Well, hey guys.
F1 Racer, are you there? I see him in the party.
Yeah,
but...
what's up, guys?
Oh, hey, man. Sorry, we didn't hear you earlier. Good race. Nice last second podium. How was it? How was it from track down on the track? It was pretty hectic from our point of view.
I spent most of the race in the back.
Yeah, you did.
I think I entered turn 1 in last place, and everybody was putting around. I got wing damage. I think Blinn did too. He pit at the end of the first lap. I tried to tough it out, but there was no way. I had to pit at the end of the second lap, and I think me and him just kind of hung out in the back until about the halfway point, and then that last safety car where Turkey spun out, wanted to go into the pit, and his car didn't ghost, and he was right at the entrance. Hit him, got a 5-second penalty for that. Then I got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So during that safety car, I had to serve 2 5-second penalties, and somehow
and you still ended up on the podium.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be one of the craziest results you have for a while.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, we see it in real F1, but I don't think any of those relate to today. You had an absolutely crazy race. I mean, wing damage, 2 5-second penalties, 2 safety cars. You were at the back for most of the race, and here you are in P3. But I think you did pull out some results out of the hat. Just somehow ended up winning the race in P2, P3 last season, season 9, and that ultimately gifted you the championship. So I think if you can keep up these string of this really good results, consistency. I know you had a not so great first 2 races of the season, but hopefully this is the turn of good events, and hopefully we see you up here more, because I think your racecraft is incredible, and you really have a passion for driving, and that's pretty clear. You never gave up today, and look what happened, P3.
Well, last season I finished in, I think it was P7, so P3 this season, I'll take it.
There you go, just improvements.
Yeah, I mean, as we seen today, we had 2 of the top 3 DNF, so it really opens up the title, and it's a good building block. Long season ahead. You got a lot of tricky races. Singapore next. Anything can happen there again. So yeah, it's a great result, and it really opens up the title race. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week. Go and relax, and what else you need to do.
Go watch that stream back there.
Gotta dry off after that.
Yeah, I'll probably
same here, and I was just watching it.
Bit sweaty. All right, man. Take care.
Cheers.
Blinn, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Welcome.
Hey.
How was the race?
Well, I can relate to F1 Racer. I mean, that was the craziest race I've ever had, honestly. I got a little bit of damage. I had an orange front wing on the first lap. Really unfortunate there, so I had to pit. And then that kind of screwed up my whole strategy as well, but then the safety car came out, so that really helped me out. And then that second safety car, I mean, before that second safety car came out, I was all the way up into 4th, I think, and I was battling for 3rd with Turkey Whacker into 130R. And that didn't go so well for me. I
Yeah,
half
I
spun the
saw
car.
that.
Yeah, I went onto the grass. I hit the wall, but somehow I was lucky enough not to get any damage. So I put the car
Wow.
back on the track and then kept on going, and I was just praying for another safety car, and it came. And then, Japan is so hard to restart on the safety car. It's so tricky through the first couple of sectors, so there's always incidents, and that's sort of what helped me get through the positions there. But then the F1 racer fight duel right towards the end, for the last spot on the podium, that was very fun.
Yeah, it was kind of reminiscent of you guys from last season. I said, "Oh, you guys are just resuming battle again," and it was great to see you guys battle. And I thought your race was done after you hit the wall at 130R. Did not expect another safety car, and yeah, I don't know what else could have happened during that race. I mean, everything that could have happened, plus more. So you're definitely right about the craziest race you've ever had. But coming into or going into round 4 next week, how do you think you're going to get on at Singapore?
I love that track. I love all
Nice.
street tracks, Azerbaijan, Singapore, Monaco. I like all of them. I think in Singapore it's going to be important to keep track of my tire temperatures. Today I think I put them a little bit too low for my liking. I was hitting 110, 112 sometimes on some of my wheels. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try and work out my setup a little bit better for Singapore, but I'm super excited to go there.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorite tracks, so I'm also looking forward to that. But yeah, a really good result, especially after struggling with not the best of luck the first 2 rounds, and I think Lady Luck was on your side today. So congrats on P4, and we shall see you, or actually I'll see you on Thursday for a platinum class.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah,
All
you'll
right.
see us.
Yeah,
We
see us.
might
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you.
myself and Enda.
I'll be watching over you. That's right.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Thanks guys, you too.
Well, and I think that will kind of wrap it up for us. That was, gosh, I mean, I don't even know how to explain that race except for one word, which is crazy. Um, hopefully we get an exciting race on Thursday, but I don't think I would be ready for anything that happened tonight. That would just be,
Yeah.
information overload and like a sweat fest. So,
While
um,
I loved watching that race today, I don't know if I would have enjoyed partaking in that race quite as much as I did in watching it. So you're right. I hope we have a slightly less entertaining, but hopefully not a boring race on Thursday.
yeah, some rain would be nice. I would,
We haven't
welcome
seen a wet
welcome some
race.
rain.
We have not seen any rain yet so far in TCR, so that would be interesting. Um,
Absolutely.
it's all to play for, and we're back, of course, tomorrow night with Golden, another great round. Some more tough competitive racing here at Trinity Competitive Racing.
Yeah, and then back on Thursday, same time as tonight, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. So, tune in tomorrow for Golden, tune in Thursday for Platinum class, which is the pinnacle of TCR. But if you've been watching, thank you so much for sticking through us tonight. It's been a bit longer than we expected, but the racing has always been great. Just as always here. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you tomorrow, Thursday, and next week. Take care, everyone.